call it, is a really important issue for the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce, and we have been deeply embedded in this work for a number of years and are really excited that Rhode Islanders will have an opportunity to vote yes on question 1 to invest in these very important facilities, these really valuable facilities. We are here in such a beautiful space, and there's a lot of work that we need to do to take the campus to the very next level. So this is what it's all about today, to talk about that, to talk about what it means to have a competitive advantage in the blue economy, and we have a number of distinguished speakers today that will lead us through some very specific examples of how Rhode Island truly has a competitive advantage. The University of Rhode Island, as we know, is the flagship public research as well as the land and sea grant university of the state of Rhode Island. And additionally, the university is one of our largest employers in the state of Rhode Island. So today what we really want to talk about and what we want to emphasize around the new blue economy is understanding what it means to be able to use the blue economy as a way to foster the sustainability of our planet, and also to really think about how to responsibly use these assets, responsible stewardship, to promote an economic development competitive advantage. And these are the things that we've studied for quite some time, and we are at the point where we're really able to jump and to launch and really do great things for all of our citizens and attract great investment. So in November, as we know, coming up, election season, we will have an opportunity to vote on question 1, bond issue question 1, to rehabilitate parts of this campus. And there are lots of reasons why it makes it's a good choice for Rhode Islanders and why it's such an important opportunity for all of us. So voting yes will provide the university with over $100 million in repairs and construction for new facilities right here behind me and elsewhere on this campus. And what we're doing by doing so is investing in our educational needs, our students, and our faculty, and our ability to forward our research profile. This investment will ensure that Rhode Island continues and remains a leader in the global blue economy, as we are right now, and also find a way to use this to leverage additional funds, matching funds, public-private sector funds, to really amplify the work of the very distinguished scientists and staff that are here today. Also, by maintaining our status as a global leader in the blue economy, we'll be able to attract additional investments from the public and private sector to continue to move our economy forward. So I can't overemphasize that enough, because it is very important to be able to have the resources to continue to invest and reinvest on behalf of our students. So an investment in URI is an investment in Rhode Island. So this is a all Rhode Island type of proposition and question. And we know that the citizens of Rhode Island have been very generous to the university over the course of the last decade plus in terms of investing in new facilities, not just here, but in the Kingston campus and other places around the university. So the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce really recently voted yes, and we will devote a lot of time and energy and resources in joining with the faculty and staff and leadership of the university to help get question 1 passed by the voters. So with that, I would like to introduce the 12th president of the University of Rhode Island, and he is fresh off his inauguration. We did that last Thursday. It was a terribly rainy day. We were soaked. I think our shoes and our coats and everything, I think we're all soaked for like 24 hours after that, right? But as you said in your remarks, it's really a good sign when it rains on the president's inauguration. So with that, let me introduce President Mark Palange and ask him to share his thoughts and ideas on what question 1 means to the university. Mr. President.
Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see so many of you here. Thank you for joining us, and a special thank you, Lori. That was a wonderful introduction, and to the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce for endorsing the bond, so thank you very much. I want to give a warm thank you to Governor Mckee, welcome you this morning. I also want to welcome Senator Susan Sanowski. I have a number of other colleagues. It's Special Representative Carol McEntee, thank you for being here with us. We have Elena DeMario, State Senator, also thank you. And I would like Jean-Philippe Barros, State Representative, also for joining us. And Teresa Tensi, thank you, also State Representative from Rhode Island. Thank you for being here with us. Mike Sabatoni from the Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council, I appreciate you joining us. Oscar Mahias from the Rhode Island Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, thank you. And Tom Giordano from Partnership Rhode Island. You know, you've all been great supporters of the University of Rhode Island, and as Lori just said, the future is very much tight. I would like also to make a special acknowledgement of our Board of Trustees, our Chair of the Board of Trustees, Margot Cook, who's been a great partner and supporter of the university. Our Vice Chair, Michael McNally, thank you also for joining, and also on the Board of Trustees, Matt Lenz, thank you for coming here. So I really appreciate all of you being here with us. Look, this is an exciting time for URI, and I would argue it's an exciting time for all Rhode Islanders. This November, the state and its voters have a generational opportunity to invest in URI and really to invest in the future of Rhode Island. This is why we're here today, to support a $100 million bond that will transform this very campus. We are Rhode Island's university. We are the flagship public research institution. An investment in URI is an investment in the state and its people and its future. Rhode Island's future is strongly tied to the ocean. In fact, Rhode Island's ocean economy is a critical driver of the state's overall health. Defense, tourism, marine trades, and fisheries contribute more than $5 billion to the Rhode Island economy. And by 2030, that total is projected to double. Rhode Island has the opportunity to position itself to be a leader in the blue economy in the region and in the world. And URI will be that engine that fuels that activity. And so in November, everyone here will have the opportunity to help us achieve this by voting yes in support of the $100 million bond referendum for URI's Narragansett Bay Campus. A thriving, modern Bay Campus is important because, first of all, it provides jobs, will spur economic development, it's going to drive innovation in renewable energy, aquaculture, defense, and other industries. It's going to create sustainable and equitable career opportunities for all Rhode Islanders. As the state's flagship public research university, we are ready and able to lead this vision. The Bay Campus is home to a robust community of academic, state and federal agencies, nonprofits, NGOs, and private companies. We have broad industry support for our initiatives. Our graduates and faculty support the growing offshore wind industry. Companies such as Ørsted, Cathay Group, and Gavin and Dougherty Geosolutions actively hire our ocean engineering graduates and engage with ocean engineering faculty and students. We have startups like Farsounder that have emerged from our ocean engineering program. We offer experiential learning in the blue economy for K through 12 students from across the state, and many of you have seen our nationally recognized Shark Camp for underrepresented student scientists. Many of you may have also been here this past weekend for the GSO's Special Science Saturday with students and faculty and staff welcoming families from around the state. An investment in URI now will serve as really the beginning of a greater transformation. The bond for the Bay Campus will create opportunities that are inclusive and equitable. And further investment will unlock opportunities for promising and well-paying jobs for all Rhode Islanders. Imagine positions in construction, manufacturing, management, and blue technology, combined with career ladders, workforce and career development, and training programs. URI is building a university for the future, our future, that will provide education, jobs, and economic opportunities for everyone. So, in November, I hope you will help us chart a blue and prosperous future in Rhode Island by voting yes on one in support of the Narragansett Bay Campus bond. I want to thank everyone for being here this morning and for all the colleagues that are joining in this celebration. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your remarks reminded me of precisely a year ago when you and I joined together to feature the university and you as you're beginning your tenure as president of the university right here in a conversation for the Chamber's Economic Outlook Forum. And during that time, we talked about all aspects of the blue economy. So you really laid the foundation for what you know was going to come over the course of the last year. And it was a beautiful day, just like this. So at this point, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our governor, Governor Dan Mckee. And Governor Mckee, of course, has been a real champion of the ocean economy right from the beginning of his administration. And he has led with great authority in discussing various aspects of the blue economy and what it can do, not only to grow our economic base, but also to grow our workforce as well. And through his efforts and through his desire to put matching dollars into his state budget, we are able to be here today and talk about really what we can do to continue to grow this important sector of our economy. So with that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Governor Mckee.
Thanks, Lori. I'm wearing my colors. I'm here to reinforce to the voters of the state of Rhode Island to vote for this bond issue, number one on the ballot. And also yesterday I was in Providence talking about the support for a $50 million bond to help our green economy and also investing in our environment in a way that makes sense. I'll be at an event next week, I believe, that will be talking about supporting a bond for $250 million for our schools, K through 12. And there's a reason, not only because the investment really makes sense, but the timing makes sense. We can afford it. And that's the message to the voters. This is something not only that's important, but we can afford it. So with the university's help and other universities and people around the state of Rhode Island, we went from the very, very worst vaccinated state in the country to the number one vaccinated state in the country. That's timing was very important. Not only what that allowed us to do was reopen our economy faster than anywhere in the Northeast, second in the country. That's an accomplishment that the state of Rhode Island should be very proud of. That positions us in a way, today, we have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the history of the state of Rhode Island. That's another factor in terms of why we need to support the bonds that are on the ballot, including investing in this Bay Campus. So the president asked me to come and visit the campus here, which I did, and I got the, certainly the background of how important this university is to the blue economy, not only here in Rhode Island, but nationally and internationally. And we are very proud of URI. So let's invest these dollars to continue this academic excellence that we want to have throughout our state. I had a call with Megan Hughes this morning, the president of CCRI, as well as I met with Jack Warner, who's the current president of Rhode Island College. We are going to invest in our state schools. We are going to make investments in our state schools because that's where we're going to grow a workforce. And my number one priority as governor is to increase people's incomes. And you have to do that straight now. I see Mike over there, Mike Sabatoni. Mike, thank you for your leadership. We have projects going around the state of Rhode Island, and he's told me that we can have more. Right, Mike?
We can always have
We can
more.
have more. And whether we're investing in Pawtucket, or we're investing in Quonset, or we're investing in Galilee, which I was there last week in the fisheries, the state of Rhode Island has momentum like it has never seen before, and we're going to keep that momentum going. And this project here, right at URI, is going to be a big piece of that. So I ask again, let's invest throughout the state of Rhode Island, making sure that we are not leaving any community out, and no community that makes up the communities in the state of Rhode Island out. Let's prepare ourselves for a future that we've never seen before in the state of Rhode Island, where we are no longer going to be that state that is the first in and last out of economic downturns. And investments like we're making here currently in the state of Rhode Island, good paying jobs. Remember, a recession's coming. The best remedy for a recession is called JOBS. So as we approve these bonds and we approve projects throughout the state of Rhode Island, it is going to put people to work. And that is going to give us a buffer against any economic downturn. And when the projects are completed, that's going to give us decades of growth economically by investing in our education, investing in our blue economy, our green economy, and also doubling down, as Senator knows, in our farms, in our current staple businesses, our tourism, our banking, our infrastructure projects that go on. It is a all-in idea, and one project alone doesn't make it happen. So let's support this bond, and I'll be voting yes. And I'm going to ask everybody else to follow my lead. We can afford it, and it's good investment for the future of the state of Rhode Island. Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you very much, Governor McKee. Well done. I'm glad you have the colors on, and I'm glad you're going to motivate all of us to follow your lead in voting yes on one. Also, want to give you a special shout out. We are going to invest in our state schools. That is a fantastic pronouncement, and one that we are so pleased to hear. So thank you for that. Next, gives me great pleasure to introduce State Senator Susan Sosnowski. And Senator Sosnowski has been representing the University of Rhode Island within her geography since, 1997, I want to say. And she is a real leader at the State House, and all of us have worked very closely with her over the years. She has the university's best interest always at heart. And we can't get this question on the ballot without the great work of the General Assembly under your leadership and others. So here to talk a little bit about the view from the General Assembly and the activity here in the district, please welcome Senator Sosnowski.
Thank you so much. I am really excited to be here and help kick off this campaign to support URI's Bay Campus. An investment in the University of Rhode Island is an investment in Rhode Island's future, because in addition to educating new generations of Rhode Islanders, URI is a key driver in the Rhode Island economy. I should say in the United States economy as well. In fiscal year 2019, every dollar the state contributed to URI generated more than $6 in economic output. In that year, URI generated more than $824 million in economic activity across the state of Rhode Island, and supported more than 8,000 jobs with a combined $418 million in wages. Through the bond question going before the voters this year, we have an opportunity to grow those numbers even more. We have a chance to truly make this Bay Campus the centerpiece of our state's economic future and a cornerstone of our blue economy, which is projected to generate $10 billion annually by the year 2030. This is just so exciting. The revitalization of this campus, creating new laboratory. You can tell how excited I am about this. Because for those of you that aren't in the General Assembly, I just want to digress and say how, and we need the governor's support to get these pieces of legislation passed to get to the voters. This truly is so exciting to have the support of the General Assembly and the governor to be able to put this on the ballot. So anyway, I'll go back to the script. The revitalization of the campus, creating the new laboratories and research space here on the shores of Narragansett Bay will spur innovation and foster global connections. Here, students and faculty will take on tomorrow's challenges and prepare the workforce of the future. Rhode Island is already a global leader in the blue economy, proud to say, and this critical investment in the Bay Campus will ensure we remain on the cutting edge of industries like defense, tourism, marine trades, fisheries, and of course, offshore wind. At the State House, we have taken the historic steps forward on climate action in the past 2 years, including passage of the Act on Climate and 100% renewable energy goal by the year 2033. This investment in the Bay Campus will build on that progress, ensuring that as we build a new economic future, we are protecting the health of our environment and making Rhode Island sustainable for generations to come. The work of this institution and this campus are more important than ever to our state's future, and I urge all Rhode Islanders to support this initiative in November and vote yes on one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Sosnowski. We love your excitement, your enthusiasm. It's infectious, and that's always the way you present. So thank you so much for that. So now we turn to the House of Representatives and our rep, the Honorable Carol Hagan McEntee, and she has served the district encompassing the University of Rhode Island since 2015, and like Senator Sosnowski, a real true champion and advocate for the University of Rhode Island, and a real champion for the blue economy, and someone who has great authority and detail, understanding the Act on Climate and other things that are so important to continuing the explosion of this industry. So please join me in welcoming the Honorable Carol Hagan McEntee.
Thank you, everyone. It's with great pleasure that I'm here. I am a proud alumnus of the University of Rhode Island. Number one, right? And what has been going on this campus is so vital to the state of Rhode Island, to climate change, to the blue economy. We have to keep this going. I want to recognize my fellow reps, Teresa Tanzi and Rep Barros is here today, but I also want to recognize Speaker Sakachi and Majority Leader Chris Blazejewski, who could not be here today. So, but they are in total support of this bond. So this November, we have the chance to support one of the state's greatest assets, and in turn, we can set Rhode Island up to be one of the global leaders in the blue economy. But in order to do this, we must vote yes on number 1 in November. The Oceanography School at URI is one of our state's greatest selling points. But we are still just scratching the surface of what this state treasure is capable of doing. Any one of you who has visited this campus and seen the labs that are here must all agree that we need to invest. The work that's being done here is amazing. Oh, and I just want to mention, I just saw Rep. Kathy Fogarty. Hi, Kathy. And she's a big champion of the university as well. As a matter of fact, she and I testified in support of this very bond in front of the House Finance Committee with pictures and statements and very enthusiastically, I would say. Thank you, Kathy. But what we can do with this money will bring the University of Rhode Island, and especially the Oceanography School, to the number 1 status it should be. If we want to attract top-flight students, educators, and companies on a global scale, we have to approve this bond and invest in URI. This one-time infusion of funds will create immediate beneficial financial returns for URI and the state, and it has the possibility of making URI the global leader on the oceanographic research and education field. With this funding, URI would be able to attract millions of dollars from grants and private companies, bringing new and existing industries to our state. We have to spend money to make money, and I cannot think of a more deserving institution to support than URI's Oceanography School. We cannot afford to miss this opportunity to put URI on the global map for this field, and I urge the voters to vote yes on 1 in November. So I thank you very much for having me here today. It's high time we invest in this campus at the Oceanography School. I have been here so many times. You are in my district, and I want to thank Dean Bontempi for doing a great job here. She's really got her her foot to the pedal over here, and she has been encouraging this since the day I met her. So thank you, everyone. Let's do this. Let's make URI the best it can be, because it's already pretty good. But we need to get one step further and get this Oceanography School to look as good as it is. The work that comes out of here is amazing. And when we make the facilities, if they're so tired, we need to dress up the facilities to make it meet the energy and the talent that we have here. So please, everyone, and I know everyone here will vote yes on 1, but voters, don't forget to vote yes on number 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Rep. McEntee. The university staff and team has done a great job standing up a website on this issue, so if you want to know more, go to URIVoteYesOn1.com, and you'll see lots of supporting information and documents and, the real vision for what this Bay campus could look like in just a few years. So with that, I also want to recognize Representative Fogarty on behalf of the President, and thank you as well for being here today. So at this point, I want to introduce a good friend, someone I've worked with for so many years on economic development projects. So whether it's expanding TF Green Airport so that it could be a real engine of growth, lengthening the runway, which we needed to do so badly. The questions, so many questions on the ballot over the years, whether it's investing in Quonset or investing in our state schools, or other projects within the General Assembly legislation over the course of the day-to-day travails of the university, where the business community and the building trades are very deeply aligned. So I call Michael Sabatoni a great friend and colleague, and I invite him to come up on behalf of the Rhode Island building and construction trades to share his thoughts.
Good morning, and as most of you know, when Laurie calls, you most always say yes, whatever the question may be. So Governor, President, it's an honor for me to be here today on this campus. This is, URI is home to the Sabatonis. Just a little information. There are 7 Sabatoni members, or soon to be 7, that call URI their alma mater, led by our patriarch, Amini Sabatoni, who also sits on your board of trustees, my sister Lisa, who graduated URI in 1990, my son Michael, who's with me here today, that graduated last year with a double major, who will be enrolling in law school next year, my cousins Sydney and Alex, and last but not least, my 2 twin sons that are currently seniors at URI, going to graduate in the spring, who I invited to come to this event only with the promise that I would buy them lunch after this was over. And I agreed until I found out, my son Michael told me, that they had class, and I had to call and renege that deal and said, you're going to have to get a rain check, you've got to get your butts to class. But URI is home to the Sabatoni family, and I couldn't be happier to be here today. And I felt like I've done my part, so I put my 3 sons through the university. So I've done my part to try and continue to invest in our flagship university in the state of Rhode Island. This is a no-brainer, an investment in the marine science. We're the ocean state. And I've sat on a lot of boards, along with Laurie in the chamber through the years, and I've had some slogans, row your boat, set your sails, all the different things that we would come up with all these ideas. And I've been around a long time on a lot of different bond questions. And to echo what the governor had said, this is not just one-off. This is a combination and a plan of a lot of different efforts to continue to invest in investments that make sense in the state of Rhode Island in marine science, and combine that with our goals on renewable energy and offshore wind and the continuing purchasing of power, another 1,000 megawatts that's currently making its way through the PUC, and investments in all parts of the state that you heard the governor mention. This is not just, we're just going to throw things against the wall and see what sticks. This is an absolute plan, and this is a plan to make sure that we maintain and continue to uplift University of Rhode Island as the economic engine it already is, to make it even better. And by making these sound investments, it also creates good paying, middle class jobs for tradesmen and women that built this. I worked on this campus back in 1986. I think it was, other than a couple of hearings, was the last time I was down here. And it is long, long overdue. We made investments in chemistry, pharmacy, engineering, nursing. All those questions had passed, and we built those magnificent facilities, and now it's time to do the same here on this beautiful campus here today. So yes, it's a 4-letter word, it's called jobs, but it also means investments. And I'll say one thing, yes, we can afford it, but we can't afford not to either. So I will be voting yes on one. I encourage you all to vote yes on one. Let's make this campus the magnificent facility it should be, and continue to invest in Rhode Island's future the right way with sound judgments, and connect the dots together so that we can make sure we put Rhode Island and continue Rhode Island on the path of the momentum that we've had going forward. So thank you for having me here today. Vote yes on one.
Thank you very much, Mike. I can't wait to see the shovels in the ground and to begin to see these facilities start to get upgraded and really be the showplace and the treasures that we all want it to be. So at this point, I'd like to introduce a colleague of mine from the Chamber of Commerce world, and he represents the Hispanic community and does a fantastic job working with the small businesses that are within the Hispanic community and on workforce development programs, and helping our businesses to be able to, again, create jobs and grow and expand and do all of the things that that we expect our small businesses to do as leaders of our citizenry, leaders of our state, and to do everything that we can to work together to be supportive of these issues. So with that, please say hello to Oscar Mejias, and he is the president and CEO of the Rhode Island Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity. It's evident the importance of this investment for the education, for the university, for the state. But representing the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, I want to highlight the importance that this investment has in our minority community. Community have been really impacted by the COVID, and they have been struggling in this recovery process. But that is never stop growing and fighting and trying to survive and doing better. So I want to highlight this investment as an opportunity to open opportunities again for our small business, not just in construction, but in support services, in being part of the supply chain. Our community is growing. The chamber represents more than 850 businesses that are very active in the economy in this state. And I am working with the Blue Economy Technology Cluster project, and we are creating awareness in our community, and I can see and I can feel the interest in participating. We have been working with more than 80 entrepreneurs in different areas just in the last 8 months. That is evidence that our community wants more, wants to be participating actively in the economy in this state. And I understand that it's a huge project, it's a huge investment, and that requires commitment. I want to say that you have our commitment as representing these communities, and not just the Latinos, but the minority community, to be active part in this project. That requires commitment from the governor. As always, you have been a great supporter of our organization and the minorities, and I can testify that. The commitment for the president and the university authorities, the staff, and I'm pretty sure that working together we will do better. So it's a great investment. I can visualize, and I am really motivated to be active part in this project because it's a great opportunity for our communities. Just the Latino community represents the 20% of the population in this state. And I feel that I know that I cover just the 30% of the Latino business community around the state. We are talking about more than 4,000 businesses that are in every industry, in construction, in personal services, professional services, in the food industry, which characterize our community. But for real, we are here to say yes to this investment, to this project, and to say yes of the participation of the minority business community in this project. I know that working together we will do better. So, on behalf of my organization, on behalf of the Latino community, and on behalf of the minority community, we invite you to say yes to the number one we will do. Thank you very much.
Let's ask Oscar to translate vote yes on one.
So, es más fácil para mí decirlo ahora en español. Es una muy buena inversión para la educación, para la economía, para el Estado, pero también una buena inversión para nuestras comunidades, y especialmente la comunidad latina, que no para de crecer y no para de crear nuevos negocios y nuevos empleos. So, en perfecto español, vote sí por la opción número 1.
Okay, our last speaker is Tom Giordano, and Tom represents the Partnership for Rhode Island, which is a collection of some of our largest employers and the leadership of our largest employers, and they've made a fantastic and enormous contribution to our business economy and to our state by funding a number of, really transformational projects that can help lead and seed projects. So I think that's a fair way to put it, Tom, because we know that our largest employers are very important assets to our tax base, and we need to keep them here. And in order to do that, we have to make sure that our economy is growing. And Tom is at the lead, at the tip of the spear, in helping to get that done. So please welcome the Executive Director of the Partnership for Rhode Island, Tom Giordano.
Hello, everyone. Lori, thank you for elevating this discussion over years of hard work, right? This is very important to the future of Rhode Island's economy. And Governor, thank you for creating this opportunity for investment, because this is important. When I got dressed this morning, my 5-year-old said, "Dad's wearing his ocean tie." And I said, "Yes, I am." And she said, "Is it important?" I said, "Yes, it is important, because this is an investment in the future of our state. And not just in the future of our state being a new building and construction jobs and more shark camps and more R&D with FM Global and other of our large employers, but because it recognizes the importance of URI as the economic engine of Rhode Island. Large CEOs who I represent, who work nationally and internationally, want to see cranes in the sky. And cranes in the sky are a sign of positive growth. URI will be not only the continued center of our economic engine, but will show that Rhode Island has a resilient economic engine. right? It'll be ours. This is our blue economy, our bay and our ocean, and our investment in it to make sure that we continue to grow, not only from the K-12 space, all the way up to our postgraduates. Let's create the most talented workforce that desires to stay here, because Rhode Island employers are looking to hire more Rhode Islanders. Governor, thank you for this opportunity and this investment. Vote yes on one so that we can hire more Rhode Islanders. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tom. So resilient and sustainable. So those are two key adjectives that we need to keep in mind. So that concludes our program, Mr. President. I don't know if you have any concluding remarks that you'd like to make. If so, I will turn the program back to you. Thank you, everybody, for allowing me to be part of this program today.
Thank you, Lori. You did a great job. I just want to thank all our speakers. I want to thank also the senior leadership of the university, the many deans, and certainly Dean Von Tempe. Oh, yes, I see you. Our Dean of the College of Engineering, Anthony Marchese, the Dean of the College of Environment and Life Sciences, John Kirby, and many other friends and colleagues. Look, this is a great day, and so indeed, let's vote yes on one. Thank you.